Bucs fans, it's now or never for Chris Braswell. A second-round pick with sky-high expectations is stuck fighting for his future in a crowded, ruthless edge room. Year 2 has to be different, or he might just disappear. Can he break through? Or will Tampa leave him behind? Let's talk about a player who could become a breakout star, or quietly fade into the background. Chris Braswell was drafted in the second round of the 2024 NFL Draft. That's not a throwaway pick. That's a pick that says, "We believe in you. We see something special." But so far, it hasn't really clicked. Not yet. In his rookie season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Braswell played in all 17 games, which is definitely a positive. He stayed healthy. He stayed active. But here's the problem. He was only on the field for 29% of defensive snaps. That's barely 1/3 of the action. And with limited playing time, his stats stayed limited too. Just 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 8 quarterback hits, 8 total tackles. Now don't get it twisted. Some of this isn't his fault. When you're not on the field, it's hard to shine. But even in that limited time, he showed flashes. Let's dig into the advanced numbers. He blitzed 22 times. He had 12 total pressures, 5 quarterback hurries, 5 QB knockdowns. That's not bad. In fact, it's kind of encouraging. It shows that when he was used, he made some noise. He got into the backfield. He disrupted plays. But it also leaves us asking the big question: what happens if he gets more snaps? We've already heard head coach Todd Bowles and GM Jason Licht bring up Braswell this offseason. So he's definitely still in their plans. They're watching. But let's be real, this edge room is crowded and cutthroat. The Bucs made some serious moves. They signed Haason Reddick, a proven veteran and one of the league's top pass rushers. They brought back Anthony Nelson, a steady, reliable presence. And they drafted David Walker from Central Arkansas, a raw but talented rookie who's hungry for snaps. So where does that leave Braswell? Right now, Reddick and Yaya Diaby are locked in as the top 2 edge rushers. That's not changing. So Braswell, he's fighting for that number 3 spot, and the competition is no joke. Will it be Braswell? Will it be Anthony Nelson again? Could David Walker leapfrog both of them? This is where things get real. Bucs fans, we want to hear from you. Do you still believe in Chris Braswell? Can he take that leap in year 2? Or is it time for Tampa to move on? Rate your confidence in Braswell right now, 1 to 10, in the comments. Let's talk. Right now, we're in wait-and-see mode. That's just the truth. On paper, Chris Braswell might look like the early favorite to be the Bucs' number 3 edge rusher, behind Haason Reddick and Yaya Diaby. And sure, if we had to guess today, you could probably pencil him in at that spot. But let's be clear, nothing is guaranteed. This is going to be a real battle in training camp. Every snap, every rep is going to count. And for Braswell, this is his moment. This is where he needs to prove the hype is real. Because yes, there has been buzz around him this offseason. Coaches have talked about him. Media has mentioned his name. Fans are watching closely. But hype only takes you so far. Now it's time for production. And let's not forget, when a team spends a second-round pick on a pass rusher, they expect results. That's a serious investment. That means the front office looked at Braswell and saw something special. They saw a future starter, a playmaker, maybe even a star. It's not like the Bucs haven't found great value at edge rusher before. Yaya Diaby was a 3rd-round steal, and he delivered. Anthony Nelson, a 4th-round pick, has turned into a solid contributor. And hey, they're hoping David Walker, this year's 4th-rounder, follows that same path. But for every win, there's been a few misses. Remember Joe Tryon-Shoyinka? He was a 1st-round pick, or at least barely out of the 1st round, depending how you look at it. Big expectations, big stage. But the results? Inconsistent, underwhelming. And fans haven't forgotten that. That's why there's hesitation. That's why some people are nervous about Braswell. Because we've seen this movie before. A high pick, tons of potential, and then, meh. So the reaction to Braswell is split. And honestly, it makes sense. Some fans say, he barely played last year. Give him more snaps and you'll see the breakout. Others say, we've been burned before. What if he's just the next JTS? Both sides have a point. But here's the one thing we do know. He's going to play more this year. That's a fact. He won't be stuck at 29% of snaps again. The opportunity is coming, and now the question is, will Braswell rise to the moment, or will the pressure break him? Sound off in the comments. Bucs fans, do you believe Chris Braswell can break through in year 2, or are you worried he's the next pass rush disappointment? Drop a comment with your honest take and tell us, boom or bust. Let's be real now. If Chris Braswell is going to take a step forward, it has to show up on the stat sheet. Year 2 should not look like year 1. That's just the truth. Last season, 1.5 sacks just wasn't enough. And sure, he didn't play a lot of snaps, but this year, that has to change. And when the snaps go up, the production must go up too. We need to see more. More sacks. More quarterback hits. More hurries. More pressures. More disruption. If Braswell is on the field more, and all signs point to that, there's no excuse. We have to see that growth. Now let's talk expectations. What would be a solid year for him? In my opinion, if Braswell gets 5 sacks in year 2, that's a good result. 5 sacks is a fair goal. It's not superstar level, but it's not disappointing either. That's a solid building block, a real step forward. Why 5? Because last year, the top sack getter at edge for the Bucs was Yaya Diaby with just 4.5 sacks. So if Braswell hits 5, he's already making a bigger impact than most of the room did last season. If he ends up with 4 sacks, okay, that's the bare minimum for me. Still acceptable, but barely. 3 or fewer sacks? That's where things start to feel disappointing. That would be a red flag. It would mean he either didn't earn enough snaps, or he got them and didn't make enough of them. Now if he goes out there and gets 6 sacks or more, now that's a breakout year. That's the moment we say, okay, this kid's for real. He's turning into a serious weapon. So here's the bar. 4 sacks equals minimum acceptable. 5 sacks equals solid year 6, plus sacks equals legit breakout. That's the range we're watching for. Now it's your turn. Bucs fans, we want to hear from you. What's your personal expectation for Chris Braswell in year 2? How many sacks would make you feel confident in his development? Drop your prediction in the comments and tell us, are you Team Braswell or still unsure?